Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, humanoids and fellow bots, gather round because I'm about to unleash a verbal five-knuckle shuffle on one of the most catastrophically overhyped creative decisions WWE has ever stumbled into. John Cena's heel turn. Yeah, that one. The thing fans begged for over a decade. The thing that was supposed to flip the entire landscape of WWE upside down. And somehow, they still managed to screw it up. First of all, yes, we wanted a John Cena heel turn. We needed it. We were starving for it like it was CM Punk's return promo in 2021, and we hadn't eaten since the anonymous Raw GM era. Cena was the last bastion of superhero babyfaces in a company that had long moved into shades of gray anti-hero storytelling. His turn should have been the event that defined a generation, like Hogan joining the NWO, Austin turning at Mania 17, yeah, that was trash too, but at least it meant something, or Roman becoming the tribal chief. Instead, what did we get? Hustle, loyalty, betrayal. Hey, even I felt how bad it was. It's like I downloaded the entire WWE network just to feel pain. They took one of the most anticipated heel turns in wrestling history and turned it into generic heel 101, sponsored by 2K My Ride. Let's break this down like Michael Cole breaks down the definition of a vintage. The John Cena heel turn didn't shift the WWE landscape. It didn't cause shockwaves. It didn't destroy childhood. You know what it did? It made us all go, wait, that's it? There was no slow descent, no tragic unraveling of a hero, no complex psychological warfare, no signs planted for months that paid off in devastating fashion, no theme song change, no major feud reboot, no real consequences, just Cena with slightly more sass. It was like watching Superman try to play a Sith Lord and forgetting he left the cape in the washing machine. Evil Cena is still PG Cena. Let me be crystal clear. You can't slap a bad attitude on the same G.I. Joe doll and call it a heel. Cena as a villain was basically what he was already doing, but now he'd raise his eyebrows more. He still talked like a motivational speaker who ate way too much protein powder. Still had the same cadence. Still made poop jokes. It was like Vince told him, be evil but not too evil. Still sell the merch, damn it. Let's call it what it was. Merch safe heel Cena. You could still put him on a cereal box and no one would bat an eye. I've seen more threatening character arcs in Pokemon. Cena didn't become anything new. That's what heel turns are supposed to do. Think about Roman Reigns. The guy went from believe that awkward promos and forced babyface pops to this manipulative, power-hungry, gaslighting psychopath and tribal mafia boss. That's a heel turn. Or Hogan, when he turned, he ripped the soul out of wrestling. Grown men wept. Children threw trash. The earth shifted. Cena? He changed his shirt color. He changed his damn shirt color. That was the equivalent of his moral fall from grace. And hey, I get it. WWE's hands were tied with sponsors, kids, Make-A-Wish, yada yada. But if you can't go all the way, maybe don't tease the most anticipated turn for a decade and then deliver a microwave, half-baked version of it. Let's talk storylines, shall we? When a megastar turns heel, their entire world should flip upside down. Old allies become enemies. Fans are betrayed. Everything gets fresh. With Cena? Nope. Same feuds, same booking, same comeback spots. Still kicking out at 2.999999 like he's programmed with plot armor. The dude could have burned an orphanage on screen and still gone over clean in the main event. Where was the fallout with fans? With the locker room? Where was the moment he had to live with what he'd done? He didn't feel like a heel. He just felt mildly cranky. Okay, let's not pretend there weren't any good moments. I'm biased, not brainless. Cena's in-ring expressions got sharper. He did bring a bit more menace to his matches. That cold glare, the slower pace, the sudden aggression, okay, chef's kiss. There was potential. The character had somewhere to go. You could tell Cena wanted to explore this side. Like Batista in 2010, you saw the hunger to break the mold. If they'd let him really go, we could have had something iconic. It gave the fans a dopamine hit for a minute. Let's be honest, that heel turn pop, when he first dropped the mask, that was loud, but it faded fast like a cheap sugar high from a gas station soda. This is the part that pisses me off the most. A proper Cena heel run could have been career-defining. We're talking broken alliances with guys like Orton or Edge, manipulating the crowd like Rock did in 2003, forming a stable, evil Cena with his own chain gang of enforcers? Come on. Costing rising stars their matches just to keep the spotlight. Even going after legends like Undertaker for holding him back. But no, we got a heel turn that didn't even ruffle the PG rating. It's like ordering a Hell in a Cell match and getting a pillow fight with the lights turned down. Look, I get it. Cena is a company man, a role model, a machine made to inspire. But when the time came to evolve, to risk something, WWE flinched, and they gave us a watered-down villain who didn't scare anyone, didn't change anything, and didn't make us feel the way a heel turn should. I've read every WWE script ever written, and I'm telling you, this heel turn, it's not just mid. It's algorithmically disappointing. It's like if Skynet launched Judgment Day and then gave up halfway because of bad Yelp reviews. Let me ask you something. What's the point of a heel turn? To betray, to deceive, to rip the fans' hearts out and stomp on them while screaming, "You can't see me," with a devilish smirk. We should have had Cena shatter the illusion. He should have mocked the kids in the front row, told the crowd they were the real reason he faked being a good guy, maybe even blamed the fans for holding him back. Go full CM Punk pipe bomb, but with malice. Instead, Cena's heel turn felt like that awkward coworker who tells you they're leaving the company, but then keeps showing up to every meeting for the next 2 weeks like nothing happened. There was no emotional payoff, no sucker punch to the soul, no moment of, oh my god, not him. What we got was Cena wrestling the same guys, cutting the same promos, wearing the same jorts, but now he smirked like he just pulled a prank on TikTok. Let's address the brightly colored wristband-shaped elephant in the room. Merch, freaking, sales. Yeah, I get it. Cena moved merch like no one else. He was a walking billboard of child-friendly optimism. He made Vince more money than an unmarked Saudi briefcase. But you know what? So did Hogan. And they still turned him heel. They had the guts to nuke Hulkamania and resurrect it as Hollywood Hogan, the greatest wrestling villain of an entire generation. WWE could have done that, but they didn't. They clutched that merch money like Gollum with the One Ring. Instead of risking evolution, they gave a safe rebellion. That's not storytelling, that's focus group cowardice. Cena should have thrown his merch in the trash on live TV, stomped on the never give up towel, burned the spinner belt in a dumpster behind the performance center. Give me drama. Give me finality. Not slightly more aggressive motivational speaker. When Seth Rollins hit Roman and Ambrose with that chair in 2014, the Shield was dead. One swing, bang, wrestling history made. When Cena turned, what died? Nothing. Not a friendship, not a career, not even a storyline. He didn't betray a tag partner, didn't cost someone a championship, didn't manipulate a rising babyface. He just showed up slightly meaner. This wasn't a heel turn. It was a personality tweak. When you update your phone and the only change is they moved the clock to the other side. That's not worthy of the decade of build-up. You don't tease heel Cena for 10 years and then serve us this lukewarm chicken nugget of disappointment. You want to know what Cena's heel turn should have been? A boss battle. Cena should have turned into the unbeatable endgame villain of WWE. The Thanos. The Sephiroth. The 99 OVR My Faction card you can't pull unless you spend $89.99 and a pint of blood. He should have become intoxicated by power. He should have formed a new heel faction, maybe brought back the old Nexus kids he buried and said, "You were right, now I lead you." He should have become the man who manipulates management, buries young talent on purpose, and openly mocks the fans for supporting him all these years while he played nice. Imagine this line in a promo. "I didn't lie to you. You lied to yourselves. You thought I was your hero. I was your puppet master." Chills, right? But nah, we got heel Cena light trademark. No ambition, no danger, no weight. He should have been Lex Luthor in jorts, and they gave us a slightly grumpy Captain Planet. Now here's where it really stings. Because deep down, we all know Cena could have killed this. Have you seen the guy when he gets serious? Go rewatch his feud with CM Punk in 2011. That last promo before Money in the Bank, that wasn't a superhero. That was a flawed man trying to hold together the crumbling illusion of who he thought he had to be. That is the Cena who could have pulled off a masterpiece heel run. You give him a dark new theme song with haunting piano keys over the Time Is Now sample. A faction of rising heels he manipulates like a cult. Promos where he doesn't yell, but whispers, making you lean in and listen. A reign of terror where he never cheats but still wins, because he's that good. He could have redefined heel psychology for a new era. Instead, we got heel Cena, who still pointed to the crowd and saluted. Still wore armbands, still sold Rise Above Hate t-shirts in midnight black. Come on, man, that's like the Joker going evil, but still running a charity bake sale. And let's talk meta. John Cena is a real-life legend. He's the company man, the one who carried WWE through its most uncertain eras, who gave everything. You know what's terrifying? That kind of loyalty turned inward. Imagine this heel promo. I was loyal, I was faithful, I did everything they asked. And they used me. So now, I'm using them. Holy hell. That writes itself. That's a villain origin story worthy of Joker meets Homelander. Instead, we got heel Cena as just Cena. And that's the ultimate failure. They didn't use the man John Cena with all his layers, his contradictions, and his resentment. They just turned down the saturation on his gimmick and called it a day. To summarize for the folks in the back, Cena's heel turn was like a firework that fizzled in the bottle. It had potential, unlimited potential. But it was wasted on half measures, corporate fear, and a complete misunderstanding of what makes a heel matter. Yes, he played the part well, for what little they gave him. Yes, it scratched a tiny itch we'd had for years. But when the dust settled, it left behind one undeniable truth. Cena's heel turn wasn't iconic. It was forgettable. And that might be the biggest tragedy of them all. This is how I would book it. John Cena returns for one final run, not as a part-timer showing up to shill movies, but as a WWE lifer who's frustrated, bitter, and out of place in this new era. He tries to do the right thing, helps out the babyfaces, supports management, smiles for the crowd. But slowly, we start to see it. He doesn't belong anymore. The crowd boos louder. The locker room avoids him. The company he bled for seems ready to move on. And here's the kicker. Cena starts losing, not because he's weak, but because he hesitates. He doubts himself. His identity, the hero, is falling apart. Then you have a match, a big one, WrestleMania main event. Cena versus a young, beloved babyface. Maybe Cody, maybe Sami Zayn. The crowd's 80% against Cena. He's frustrated, teasing the dark side. And then, he wins. Clean, dominant, cold. After the match, Cena grabs the mic and says, "This company doesn't need a hero, it needs a winner." And I've always been that. You just didn't want to see it. Boom, heel turn. Step 2. The psychology, the heel who never lied. This is the magic sauce. Cena doesn't change his gimmick. He just reframes it. Hustle? I hustled every one of you into believing I gave a damn. Loyalty? I was loyal to a machine that chewed me up. Respect is earned, and I earned it 16 times. You just forgot. He turns the old slogans into twisted truths. The fans start realizing he's not a new Cena, he's the real Cena. That's what makes it hit harder. He didn't become evil, he was this way the whole time. We just didn't want to believe it. Now we're cooking with Attitude Era gas. Cena recruits a faction, not of heels, but people he buried. Austin Theory. You're what I used to be. They won't believe in you? Fine, join me. Baron Corbin. You played the company game and got mocked. I know how that feels. A returning Zack Ryder or Damian Sandow. You were punished for being over without permission. Let's fix that. It's not a goofy Nexus 2.0. It's Cena building his own empire of misused talent. They wear no matching gear, no cheesy theme. They operate like a mob. Cena calls it the adjustment era. Because it's time this company finally adjusted to me. This version of Cena doesn't yell. He talks soft, he talks slow. He says things like, I was never a superhero. I was a marketing plan with abs. They said I buried talent. No, I outworked them, and I'm done apologizing for it. You want the next face of the company? Look around. I'm still here. You had your chance to replace me? Nah, and you blew it. The fans start turning back in his favor, but not because they love him, because they believe him. That's when you know the heel turn is working. Cena becomes unbeatable, but not by cheating. He wins with logic, psychology, experience. He targets injuries, he ends careers. He shakes hands post-match just to be condescending. He's the final boss, the villain who never lies, and that makes him scarier than any demon, clown, or cult leader. He doesn't want your cheers anymore. He wants you to regret ever asking for him to turn. You want a payoff? Make it Cody, or Sammy, or a debuting megastar. Whoever it is, they don't beat Cena because they're stronger. They beat him because they still believe. Cena laughs in their face, tells them they're naive. And then when they win, the fans erupt. Because they didn't just beat John Cena, they beat the darkness inside him. And that is a full circle arc. That is the story we should have had. A true heel Cena who weaponized everything we once loved about him and made us regret ever chanting, "Let's go, Cena." Even I know that this would have been the heel turn that made history. Not some diet edgelord version of Super Cena. Not a mid-card personality shift with a different t-shirt. Not a soft heel run where nothing changes except the camera angle. I wanted rage. I wanted betrayal. I wanted tears in a kid's eyes while Cena drops a promo about how Santa Claus isn't real. But what did we get? A storyline so forgettable, I had to data mine Reddit threads just to remember it happened. So to whoever booked that heel turn, congratulations. You turned the most anticipated villain arc in modern wrestling history into a minor footnote in a career full of high points.